folks, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. We've got a very, very, very cool topic here tonight. We've got a couple of young men, and I'm guessing they're young men by the profiles that I'm seeing here. We've got Brian Terrio, Mike Frost. We're going to talk about dope heads. We're going to jump right in. We'll go with the shy one, that being Brian. We can see dope heads all over the back there. Tell us about this.
Well, dope heads in its simplest form is dope heads helping out free nonviolent drug offenders. So if you know somebody that's been locked up for a drug charge, if you know somebody that has gone through all that headache and rigmarole, our main focus is to ease that right there and help free nonviolent drug offenders. Plain and simple. Oh, by the way, we're also an animation. We're also a toy and collectibles line, and we also do NFTs. But the main focus is, helping provide that assistance for people who might have a drug problem or somebody that might be going through a situation where they've been incarcerated or know someone that's been incarcerated. So helping educate people along the way about drugs and the ups and downs, the goods and the bad, through our comedy, through our animation, through our toy line. And at the same time, we have one of the most amazing communities ever, fully active, fully engaged. So come check us out, man. Dope heads, what we are.
Well, and I mean, I'm up here in Canada, the Great White North, where we are the land of legalized dope, I guess you would say, in a sense.
And we are green with envy down here. Green with envy.
We'll have to get you up here, brother, really soon.
Coming.
So, Mike, how did you? Because I talked to you first before when we were waiting for Brian to come on. I just met you guys, but you guys couldn't be totally any more different in personality. How did you guys meet, and how does this relationship work? Because you're kind of, to me, to be the straight man here.
So we both have been in like the Houston music scene since we were kids. The first time I heard of Toe Down was a rave party, actually. Like I saw his name on a flyer. I was doing like a lot of the rave flyers in town. And then I moved into Houston's rap scene. Toe Down had a studio. He was rapping too. He went through the other side of the music process. I went through like the visual part. He went through the sound and the audio part. But we worked on a bunch of the same projects together, and we knew of each other and all that. And then, the NFTs came around. I've been looking at it for like a year or so. I posted something up online. Like I just minted some stupid stuff on OpenSea, figured it out, and I posted it, and he hit me up. And I was like, yeah, he showed up at the house. I was like, come over. And we just started talking, and then we threw around some project ideas, and he slipped this like buddy drawing out, and I was like, that's what I fucking want to do. And then we threw around some other stupid ideas, and then the next day I was like, man, let's do this. And he's like, okay, let's do this. And then we just all gas, no brakes. We just started pushing as hard as we can after that.
I love that. So well, and just not to interrupt you, but so I started looking into this a bit myself in the last few months. But for somebody that's watching this and they say NFT, what is that for our viewing public, so that if they don't know, they will know? You
go first, Brian.
So it's as simple as this. It's a non-fungible token, which means blah, blah, blah. So a non-fungible token just means, like, think of digital trading cards. Think of your Pokemon cards, or think about your dad's like baseball cards that he used to collect, right? Maybe his Ricky Henderson rookie is a lot more valuable than, let's say, Jose Pinero, or nobody that anybody ever knew of. They're baseball cards. They're all the same, but they're not in value. And so that's what non-fungible means. It just means alike, but may have different value. So NFTs are this wonderful thing that have this chameleon trait that can shape shift into anything you want them to be. If you want it to represent a piece of artwork, or if you want it to represent a community, or if you want it to represent your title or deed to your house, or if you want it to be an access point to get into your vehicle, it can be any of these things. And so for us, we're able to attach our social cause of helping free nonviolent drug offenders, along with helping people with drug rehabilitation, directly into our pipeline. And that's what we're able to do with our NFTs.
Yeah, and I normally go into like a rabbit hole when I'm trying to explain the technical side of it. But I think when you deal with NFTs, you're going to start seeing a lot of people are like, they don't quite understand it. But what you're going to start to see is NFTs, the technology behind it, start to replace like username and passwords. You're going to start to see it become part of like corporate reward programs instead of like the credit cards. You're going to start to see it. The technology itself has so many uses to it that people aren't aware of, that right now they think it's kind of a stupid thing. Like, hey, why am I going to buy a picture when I can screenshot it? But as things are progressing and as all these technology companies start building up this framework, the NFT is going to represent a lot more. Like, I wouldn't be surprised in 10 years if that's the only way you can log into a website. And even on our website, so one of the things we're doing to add utility is I'm using it basically like, think of it as like a corporate vendor list. If you're going to do business with us, if you're going to license our IP, if you're going to buy merch at wholesale, if you're going to be in the cartoon, anything you want to do with us, you have to be an NFT holder. So I'm using it more as like a membership with corporate privileges. And for you to get onto our website and have access to that type of information, you actually have to be an NFT holder. So there's a lot of things you can use it for, far, far beyond attaching an image to it and selling the image. So we're with Dope Heads, we're fully utilizing the NFT technology. And we're pairing it up with the art side that exists, but we're taking a much deeper dive.
Well, and as you're sitting there explaining it, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, you would get the naysayer that will go like, okay, this is never going to take off. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these things were probably in the same spot. Now you've got hundreds of millions of people that are all using these platforms. Safe to say it's in its infancy, but I guess, ground floor is a pretty good place to be for this technology. Would you agree with that, Brian?
Well, listen, you're 1,000% correct. 90% of these NFT companies aren't going to be here for the long haul. And so what we've done is we prepared a 20-year plan. We prepared a 15-year plan, even a 5-year plan. Because with a cartoon, unlike the other type of NFTs that are just a picture in a community, or maybe just a picture for a video game, those things have their seasons. A video game has its seasons. The Simpsons have been on for, let me think. I can't remember, but forever, and they've never aged. South Park, 27 seasons later, they have a $900 million deal with Paramount. Walt Disney, if you had the opportunity to go back when Walt Disney was doing the animation for Steamboat Willie and Mickey was an NFT, how much would that NFT be worth today? 5-6 million? So you're in that same boat when you're in us with the Dope Heads. And the benefit for us is we have a longevity plan. We're able to pivot and shift. We're not only doing animation, but we're also doing toys and collectibles. So we're here and have a long-term roadmap where some of these other fly-by-night NFTs, you can kind of see which ones are going to be the Facebooks, which ones are going to be the Amazons from the 90s or 2000s internet boom. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of see that forming today. You know which NFTs are going to be juggernauts, like the Bored Apes or the Cyberpunks or either one of those two blue chips. And the Dope Heads is lined up to be the next blue chip NFT. So get in early. Like Mike said, it's a great way to introduce you to our toy line and collectibles. And I mean, you get to be a part of the company right then and there as soon as you make that purchase. Where other forms of introduction to companies, you couldn't even get on the phone with somebody. And here we have a community, an open forum. Mike and I have an open door policy. When we're ever at our office, we're on our Discord. So if you want to walk into our office, you could just walk in and ask us a question. So everything is out there for you to see. We're fully doxxed. And listen, we're the truth and we got next.
It's almost like we rehearsed this, gentlemen, because part of what I'm hearing is, your diversification. And I mean, you guys don't have your eggs in one basket. You're spread across a swath. You're doing music, you're doing the NFT things, you had mentioned, different sorts of things. I mean, Mike, how many besides this? I mean, your company, how diverse is your company?
Diverse as in how?
Well, I mean, you got more than one thing going on, correct?
With dope heads, yeah. I mean, with that we have the toys, like you said. We have the animated series coming. There's the NFT. There's just the intellectual property part of the company. We're working with Moon Harvest right now. They're a CBDA distribution company, so we're also building our own distribution networks, offering opportunities to our Discord members to work on the street team, but they're also, we'll be able to give them jobs later. The ones that work their way up into like sales positions, they can manage their own network. So, we're pretty diverse in that sense. Is me and Toe Down have a long experience in the music business. In Texas, we built our own distribution networks. We made our own product. We did our own promotion. So we have a lot of experience on that. I've been coding for 15 years. Last I don't even know, 10 or so. I've been doing it for ExxonMobil. So we also have a corporate experience, which I no college or any of that. I'm from the hood, worked my way up, don't have any degrees. So it's, the diversification is the combination of me and Toe Down's experiences in life. And now we're at that age and we got the drive and the knowledge to put all these things together.
Well, I love that though, because I mean, my background is rock music, but I mean, it's there's no school that you can go to for, I guess you can go get a degree and put your degree to work, but I like to say to people, like, I got experience in bill collecting really quick. When a club owner didn't pay me, we were going to pull the front doors off of his club, right? And the music business really educates people in so many ways, and the people that I guess look for those things that aren't typical stock music things, I think, are the people that are very successful. Would you agree, Brian?
Yeah, listen, I've never followed that roadmap of life where you end up with 2.3 kids in the white picket fence. Very early on, I was classified as a child with a learning disability, right? And so the people that did all the tests on me and told my mother, they said, listen, when most people see a mountain, they want to try to climb over the mountain. Your son, he'll get on the other side, whether he buries under it, drives right through it, or flies over top of it, he'll get over there. He'll be okay. And so even though I've never been on that, roadmap of life that most people would say they want to venture down, I look at it as life as an opportunity, right? And then every day is valued. So you have to do something that can impact somebody else at the same time. And so for me, I was able to go to school and recognize, well, maybe school isn't a place where I learn, but maybe school is a place that I network. So going to college for a networking degree is what some people should focus on instead of going to college just for a piece of paper that says I did some academics. I'd like to tell kids all the time, hey, listen, go to college. It's the greatest thing you'll ever experience. But don't go there to learn. Go there to network, because the next captain of industry is sitting right beside you. Those are the things that nobody really tells you about. That college is really basically a networking environment, and take advantage of that. Go to some of these social events. And if they happen to serve beer or smoke you or whatever, go join that too, I guess, But listen, have a good time, get an education, but go network. That's what it's, for me, it's been about, especially in life.
Well, and I love that because, I think it's probably no different in the States than it is in Canada. We're taught to do what everybody else does. Don't think outside of the box. Go to school, get a good education, get a good job. But, I've got a friend that says A student teaches B student to work for C student, which I find more often than not, right? So the thing that I like about what you guys are doing, and obviously Jamie sends me the release, and it's just all the different things that you guys have on the go. And, I guess mainstream, we'll call it USA, might go, they're just a bunch of dumb rap guys. But you guys, you guys have been doing it for a while. It's not something, Mike, that, you're passionate about it. I get that right away. But you're smart guys. You know what's going on.
Yeah. I can, some of that, when I looked at the project, looked at the Dope Head project, and, I've been marketing rap guys for most of my life, like 25 years. I've been marketing, these guys. I understand, like, I looked at the project and I was like, you know what? like with the drug war, like we know that the government has pushed false information, like going all the way back to reefer madness about stuff. You know, they pushed the drug war. They locked a lot of people up, you know, for a lot of things that they shouldn't have. And they really like, I know the branding that we're doing, like some people's going to say, hey, you're just pushing drugs. And if you notice, like a lot of the characters and the stuff that we do, I know we're purposely riding the edge of what's socially acceptable. But I think through the charity work that we're doing to basically help victims of the drug war, because the drug war had a lot of victims, and not victims that, you know, from the people getting locked up, but the people actually locked up are the victims. You know, through that part, and then through like, you know, intelligently just riding the line of what's socially acceptable with the cartoon, you know, I think we can make a difference with that, because part of it is going to be controversial. But on the other end of that, like we can get the right information out there with the cartoons. So, you know, some things are definitely a lot more dangerous than other. I would say alcohol is probably one of the most dangerous drugs that exist. And but the cartoon is not going to glorify taking drugs. A lot of the characters are actually going to assume the personalities of people that take these things, but a lot of it is going to be stories from our past of just a bunch of people trying to hustle, you know, and make things happen, make businesses happen, you know, get themselves in different situations. So I just, you know, I wanted people to know it's not really going to be a cartoon about taking drugs. I mean, that would be kind of stupid, but we are going to use the controversial side of it to also push our social cause.
Well, I'm a big believer that, you know, somebody that's done something and has the experience is better suited to impart wisdom than, you know, the guy that reads a book. You know, I'll be honest with you, back when, you know, President Clinton was going through his whole thing and he didn't inhale, it would have been great if he, you know, he just owned it. And it's just people go down this path of having to be so politically correct. And I find sometimes there's a good opportunity to teach people things, but it gets thrown by the wayside for some dumb messaging that's, you know, normal.
We all know they're full of shit. Everybody knows they're full of shit. And the cartoon is going to expose just how full of shit they are. So we're going to go on that path.
So in all this, are you guys? So you're you know, you're doing all these things on your platform. Now, Mike, you had mentioned you've been promoting hip hop and rap people for years. Are you guys still doing any of your own things, or are you just so darn busy that you're just focused on all the other things that are going on?
Well, you know, I'll go back and kind of tap in on your diversity thing for just a second. We're not just in this universe. We're also in the metaverse as well. So we're 2 times impactful, right? And being in that metaverse, we have plans to build a concert pavilion along with a virtual reality theme park and a gambling shack. So not only are we full-time here working on this, but we're full-time working on our metaverse as well and trying to get ready for that launch and for that to be a thing too. So, you know, you asked if we were, you know, still working on the things that we were doing. To be honest with you, I'm so 24/7 dope head right now. And for the last 90 days, I think you know, on a good regimen of about 3 hours of sleep a night, just because there's so many things that you have to do and be prepared for. And so I have that passion to go back and get on the microphone. I have that passion to go back and mix down a killer mix. I have that passion to go master something that, you know, needs that little bit of polish to it. I have that, you know, that yearn for that studio, because I'm a studio whore. I love the studio. I never want to leave. And so that will never subside in my passion. And Mike, I think he feels a similar way, the same way, you know, as I feel when it comes to that. So even though I want to do that, I think my abilities are better suited for the dope heads 24/7 right now than for me to try to focus on more of a music career.
You know what, though, man? That's a good, honest answer, because I think sometimes when people take on or bite off more than they can chew and they try to do it all, I think it comes off as kind of maybe a little lame and a little hollow sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, 100%. And, you know, I was so blessed to team up with Mike because he is totally opposite of what I am. He is as day as am I to his night. It's really, really amazing how we can get together. And listen, we've worked on the same projects before and never even been in the same room working on the same projects. It's been really, really nuts how our careers kind of intersected and had similar success, but we've never really got an opportunity to work together. And then when we first, like our first month together working, it was just amazing because he knew exactly what he had to tackle. I knew exactly what I had to tackle. And we drove each other constantly and crazy because I'm not going to let Mike outwork me. I'm just not going to let it happen. And I think he has that same vigor and fire towards me as well in a good, business camaraderie way. And so I just think we make like the perfect 1-2 punch. And now that we're both focused on such a dope project, you get all the best sides of Mike Plus, and you get all the best sides of, myself and more. And so we've even created an opportunity in our Discord where we're going to let the Discord make the record. And so they're going to provide the tracks and they're going to provide the vocals, and we're going to put it out, and we're going to get some more money for our nonprofit partners, and we're just going to rock and roll and keep on jamming.
Well, I love that because you just, not to interrupt you, Mike, but you do need that motivation. I can see you guys are obviously the yin and the yang, and your personality-wise are different. But what I am getting from this, and I mean, I've just met you fellows tonight, but I am getting the passion out of both of you on this project. I wouldn't call it a passion project. Passion projects to me are something that you do as a hobby when you get nothing else to do. But, I see it. Well, I'll ask you this, Mike. I mean, Brian mentions 20-year plan. Where do you see this going?
I don't, it's for me, it's just, I'm going to push it as far as we can take it. So I see where it can go. I mean, it could be a global IP brand with multiple properties, supporting the causes that we want. So I could see us manufacturing every type of product on earth. We could have our own theme parks. We could, animation studios, toys, so I see it going wherever we want to take it. Like, all I think about is, I don't even think about that. I just think about is I'm going to push as hard as I can for as long as I can, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it.
Meanwhile, PT Barnum, come to our virtual reality theme park. Don't forget to pick up your merchandise. And hey, have you played our new crap game? We got the best odds in town.
Yeah, and I hear that because I mean, I'm very much that guy too. I mean, I'm constantly self-promoting, and other people too. I don't just do it, myself. I think you do it yourself, and that rings a little hollow. And I think if you help other people, then you have more success. I'm sorry, Mike, you were going to say there just before I cut you off.
Oh yeah, where I see stuff going, so when you asked about the stuff we used to do, if we still do it now, I've got friends like Paul Wall and stuff like that I can't say no to them because we're friends. I'm always going to do their covers, right? But one thing, I used to be I put a lot of competitive energy. I had to dominate my field and whatever I did. And now I've realized with this project, I'm reaching that age. It's time for me to reach and give back. So a lot of the younger artists and stuff that we're bringing in, this is the first time I'm just okay, you know what? I need to take all the knowledge I have and not only build something for, build the dope heads up for myself, but now I'm really moving into this older role in life where I'm going to start mentoring people and not, it's no longer I'm competing against people. It's I'm bringing people in. And I'm setting them in situations to see who's going to hustle and who's not. And when I see work ethic and I see people that want it, I'm going to start using what we're building to give them opportunities.
And I love that. I mean, I'm a drummer. I'm still playing at a high level, but I also know that every time I play a show, it's a little harder to recover. You're a little more sore than you were. So, yeah, exactly. You know it, Brian. So I'm kind of looking at what things are going to look like. And I very, very, very much admire what you guys are doing because it's you're taking something that you loved before and you're turning it into an enterprise that's helping some other people. I'm going to start with you, Brian. You're the PT Burnham. Where can people find out about what you guys are up to?
Super, super simple and easy. If you just type in the word Dope Heads NFT, Google will find us. If you want to be a little bit more specific, you can even go dopeheadsnft.com. If you're on Instagram, same thing. If you're on Facebook, dopeheadsnft.com. You see, there's a little theme here. We're going with dopeheads and nft.com. So it's super simple. We're on Discord. If you really want to find us quick, simple, and easy, go to any one of the social media platforms. Click our link tree in our bio. You'll get a full representation of where to start from the Discord and how to get onto the whitelist, all the way down if you want to help pass out flyers, become a sales rep. It's all there in one place, simple and easy. There you go.
Love it. Gentlemen, I want to thank you. We said that we were going to be respectful of your time. We're in different time zones and whatnot, but I really enjoyed this. I'm going to continue to follow you guys. And it's funny, Jamie Roberts continues to bring me interesting guests. And you can see her name on there, but she's in the background. Every time she hits me up, she always says, you got to talk to these guys. And she's got a different angle on every one of her clients. You guys have been fantastic. I want to thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you so much
for having me. Enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jamie. You are the bomb.com. See you guys in the metaverse.